The reality is, first and foremost, we need to be clear about what shortages we're talking about. Because the Seafarer is not one monolithic block.
No.
So when we talk about seafarers, we talk about two broad categories, really. One of them being the officers. And there is more jobs than there are those. And then the other one being the lower end of the spectrum there in terms of qualifications and skills. We're talking about the ratings, and certainly the less qualified, more standardized ratings. There's more of those than there are jobs. So when we talk about shortages here, we're talking specifically about officers or the more qualified senior ratings. And so that challenge is becoming bigger by the day. Our members continuously report massive issues with both recruiting and retaining those, because whilst some of them might be able to recruit them, then they are hard-pressed to retain them, because ultimately everybody wants a slice of a well-qualified, experienced officer, particularly in those trades that require higher skills. You know, we're talking about the wet trade, we're talking about the gas trade in particular. And so the more specialized officers are certainly sought after. We, as an organization, try and help whenever we can. And this is where we got involved in training. As some of you may or may not know, we run a number of schemes which are run solely for the benefit of our members and at no cost to our members. We have a fairly successful training scheme in the Philippines where every year we produce around 300 cadets, which are then joining the vessels of our members. Again, those are at no cost to members. Our training partners in the Philippines is MAP, and they are well, they're renowned as one of the top quality institutions as far as maritime training is concerned in the Philippines. We do something similar in India, where the objective is to release around 100 cadets every year into the new officer population. And we've started very recently something in South Africa, where again we're releasing in the region of 50 new officers. So what we're trying to do here, to answer your question more specifically, is we're trying to diversify, because we have, like everybody else in the room, noticed that there is a reticence when it comes to particularly OECD countries to join jobs at sea. You know, it's harder and harder in places where I come from. I come from Italy, and there's less and less seafarers in Italy. I live in England, same situation. I hear similar stories here in Greece. So clearly, there's a shift away from the traditional maritime nations and towards alternative solutions. That's one of the things we do. We've also started doing something else for our members recently, and I don't want to monopolize this whole thing, but we've started to explore alternative markets that some of the previous speakers were talking about. So we've been to South Africa, we've been to Ghana, we've been to Venezuela, we've been to Peru, we've been to Turkey. We're looking at a number of alternative solutions to the India, Philippines, Russia, Ukraine, and Eastern Europe as traditionally availed by our membership. And we're producing country reports, which are available for our members. These country reports are meant to provide people with the ABC, the first few steps, if you're interested in alternatives, if you're interested in looking elsewhere. And that's perhaps one of the services we provide when it comes to helping the industry with coming up with alternatives, coming up with the numbers they're looking for, particularly in those areas of higher expertise that everybody's struggling with.